Tuck your knees, your shins underneath your thighs if that's more enjoyable for your body. And just take a moment to settle in, you know, like a cat would nestle into its really comfortable joy spot. And then once it's arrived there, you know, sometimes you can kind of adjust, or maybe you found the sweet spot and you just stay and purr. So feel yourself arriving onto your mat, kind of shifting your focus more inward, turning your attention to maybe that which is more sacred, outside of the daily life that we lead. Let this be a supportive time for you. And perhaps as we start to arrive, you can ask yourself, what would be supportive for me for my time on this mat, for time beyond this mat, on into the week, the month. And as you're kind of contemplating that and turning your gaze and attention inward, just notice what you've arrived with. What is here? You might be filled with joy and your heart wide open and your body feeling spectacular. You may also feel a little bit of a train wreck physically, but really happy in your heart. You know, there's lots of combinations of how you feel. So I always encourage you to check into body, mind, and emotions. Just take a few breaths with that. And it's a snapshot of right now. We know these things change all the time. So you can trust that if you're not feeling great in some way, that it probably will shift at some point. Attend to your posture. Let your spine get long in all directions, upward, downward, wide way, front to back. Breathing into your whole body in those dimensions. Softening what's ready to soften. And perhaps you want to add a little bit more grit or intensity to your practice. Right now, if you want to add that, I encourage you to sort of relax through the muscles and the soft tissue of your body, all except for the core, and just let that be drawn in and aware and alive, a little more vital as you just breathe here for a couple more rounds of breath. And with that support from your core, just go ahead and start circling out your head. Letting this movement invite in a softening for your brain and your breath and the sense organs on your face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears. Lots going on there. So just soften and come into simply this movement. Pausing anywhere along the way, making any sounds or sighs that feel right and good. We'll meet in the center. Long, tall spine. Imagine the head just kind of floating off of your body. You can even take your hands and just kind of invite a little traction of the head upward, letting everything kind of rest into that spaciousness. And from there, tuck your chin and let the hands stay at your head, the back of your head, and just lengthen space into the cervical spine, into the neck, and remind the whole back of the spine to lengthen with this movement. Let the head bowing be a little surrender of your ego and anything that needs to push or want. Just be in the present moment. Let the emptiness be your guide. From stillness, all things arise. Release the head and circle out those shoulders. Letting the movement be delightful for your whole being and all the layers of yourself. Elbows start to come into this movement. Wrists and fingertips move, dangle, dance, relax. Head also might be invited to move a little bit. And let's bring this into a big backstroke, arm after arm. Soon we will be swimming across our favorite pond. Let your eyes follow this movement up and back. Let the torso turn a little bit. Invite the breath into some new spaces. And then let's meet hands clasped behind the back, opening particularly into the breath in the front chest, dropping the shoulders in the back, lifting the heart, broadening the collarbones, engaging the shoulder blades. And just let your head kind of move around a little bit, ear to ear. Whatever feels good. You can also nod no or yes. Drop the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together while you're exploring other things. If you want, the hands can drop all the way down to the ground and the heart can lift up from there. Back bending, opening the throat if you like. Just one breath. And come back to center, finding that center point again. Left hand walks out away from the mat and right arm swings over, creating some nice side bend. Reaching through the fingertips and drawing down through the outer hip, opening rib spaces, waistline, breath. And then big windmill circle with the right arm all the way around the body, letting the eyes follow this movement. Oh, just a full refresher. Feeling your spine move in all the different ways it does. Come on back to center and touch in on that moment. Reconnecting with yourself. And then let the right fingertips walk away and the left arm reaching over the left ear. Whole big line of awareness through the left side body. Any movements or wiggles that want to happen are very welcome. Turning the stretch into movement with the arm opening, swooping around, following with your eyes, with your torso. Last couple. Transitioning to all fours and coming right away into your own versions of cats and cows. Just starting to articulate the spine a little more, all the smaller spaces in our bodies that need a little more time and attention than we give it out in the world. Not on this sacred, precious mat. We have more space here to attend and notice and listen. And again, find stillness. Curl the toes under. And I'm inviting you into child pose from there. So the heels press, the hips press back to the heels, the balls of the feet are on the mat, and the back of the feet get a stretch as the arms reach in opposition. Just open up from fingertips back through hips. Open up the breath. Deeper and slower and fuller. Last big breath in and out. Before we move, take a moment to feel each finger on the mat and roll the inner elbows away from one another up toward the ceiling. Shoulder blades draw away from one another and activate down the back. Just feel that action, and from that place, you'll press up into down dog. You might soften the elbows a little bit to move. But re-examine that movement of elbows drawing up and out, shoulder blades doing the same. Bend one knee and then the other if that feels nice for you. Really opening up into the back space along the legs, the whole back body, the back of the arms a little bit, the inner thighs rising up to the sky. Palms ground forward. take a couple more breaths. Arriving your way, you might turn the toes to the left and the heels to the right, and take that in both directions. Big breath in and smooth breath out. Bend your knees and drop them down to the ground. Bend your chest down to the earth, shoulder blades wide. Chin comes to the ground, wiggle worm of the body. Inhale. And then flat down onto the ground and rise up just a little bit, tiny little baby cobra pose. Pressing just a little bit into the hands, alive through the legs, alive through the spine, breath in. And then find your way back to downward facing dog, maybe through a child pose. Breath in and breath out. Right leg flows to the sky, pull back through the heel. Bend the knee, roll your hip open, right foot pressing toward left shoulder. A little squeeze of the left glute. And a nice circle out for the right knee. Reach that right heel super high to the sky. Pull back through each heel, press forward through each palm. One breath. Maybe the leg lifts a little higher. And then let it land back down to the ground, and left leg flows up to the sky. Bend the knee, roll your hip open. And circle out that left knee. Lubricating the ball and socket joint. Reach that right leg super high, big breath in. And return to the ground. Let's walk our way forward to the top of the mat. Reach out to a flat back and then bow, fold. So you could start with your knees very bent, or you might have them quite straight. This is up to you. And find a place for your hands and arms that feels just right. You might have opposite hand to opposite elbow. I'm standing on my palms. It feels amazing. You might have hands on blocks or on your legs. Give your head a little shake out and invite your spine to release a little further down toward the ground. This is the moment to let go of any excess that you have brought with you, anything that you're carrying that's a burden that you don't want to carry right now because you want to be in your body. So just sigh it out with a breath. Bend your knees and roll your way one vertebra at a time up to standing, taking your time. Reach your arms out wide, pause there with the pinkies up and the thumbs down, feet together. Thighs lift, kneecaps lift, pinkies lift, thumbs drop, heels drop, tailbone drops, shoulder blades drop. Fingertips now drop and the inner wrists open. Shoulder blades still dropping, chest still lifting. Head still floating and feet grounded. Go ahead, turn the hands the other way so the backs of the wrists get an opening. You give those fingers a little wiggle if that feels nice. And then I invite you into free dance with the arms and the chest and the heart and the hands, fingers, the hips, whatever wants to show up. Have fun plucking the harp of life around you. Reach those arms high. Walk your fingertips along the ceiling. Lift, lift, lift through the whole front line of the body. Inhale. And then exhale the hands just down by your sides or at your heart, wherever feels most authentic. Just taking a moment to celebrate your life, this space that you are creating for yourself. Little hints of magic are everywhere. So embrace that if it's here for you today. Below the arms high, inhale. And just gently swan dive down. Knees could bend or not to take you all the way down, and just pause with an extra breath or two at the forward fold. Hands behind the calves, hugging in, head bowing. Inhale to flat back, lift, belly strong, spine is long, gaze is easy for the neck, taking your time. Hands plant down and step back, high plank. And just pause here in this strong, beautiful pose. Heels extending back, toes spreading, crown of head reaches forward, and shoulder blades and hips and heels are generally in line. Take a breath, inhale. Drop the knees down again, the chest comes down, the chin comes down. Feel the arches through the back, and then wiggle down to the belly and lift up maybe a little higher than you did last time. Any easy movements that want to happen for yourself, inhale. And exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog. It could be through child pose. 5 breaths, down dog. Slowing your breath. Using your breath to kind of comb your awareness inward. Streaming through your body, feeling your body. One more breath. Bend your knees, look forward, and find your way to the tops of your mats. Reach out long, flat back, inhale. Legs are strong and firm. Exhale, hug in. Knees could still be bent, no problem. Inhale, we rise, rise, rise. Reach your gaze high, walk your fingertips along the ceiling, little back bend here, inhale. And exhale right through the center, pausing at your heart or hands by sides. Feel. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold, bow, let it go. Hug in a little extra here. Inhale, reach long, flat back, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step or jump at high plank. This time, chaturanga, elbows in close to the body. Inhale, your version of back bend. Thighs could be down or floating. Chest is high. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. This 5 breath practice is very classic in the Ashtanga series. And it's just such a gift to take the time and space, be in that space of silence and tuning inward. One more big breath in. Exhale everything out. Bend your knees, look forward, spring, step, or float to the front. Reach out flat back, inhale. Exhale, hug in for an extra heartbeat here. Inhale, your timing, rise, rise, rise. Reach wide and high and walk your fingertips along the sky. Everything in the front lifts. Exhale right through the center, heart, hands by sides, whatever works. Pause. One more simple round like this. Inhale, float high. Exhale, swan dive forward and down. Reach out long, lift and lengthen. Step or jump high and low. Inhale, open. Exhale, pull back. 5 breaths. Soothing yourself with space and time. Feel that belly working on each exhale, really pulling in and energizing. See if you can get longer through your waist, between your ribs and your hips. One more breath. Exhale, bend your knees, sigh. And find your way to the top of your mats. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Exhale, fold and bow, hug in. Little extra moment. Dangle your head, shake it out. Give your hair a little tug if you haven't already. Find your way to rising. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gather at the heart. We'll shift gears, shifting the weight off to the right foot, finding tree pose, Vrikshasana. Bring the sole of the left foot somewhere along the inseam of the right. I encourage you to bring it as high as you can toward your pelvis. Try not to have a foot on the knee, on the inner knee. That could be really imbalancing. And just find your balance. Find your lack of balance. Find your dance. Figure out what's here. Have fun. Flow and blossom the arms. Well, whatever feels right and expressive for you. Inhale. Feel your fullness. And exhale, let's switch sides, bringing the weight off to the left foot, drawing the right foot somewhere along the inseam of the left leg. And express and embrace what is. Flow with this goodness, rooting and rising and connecting with the trees all over the planet. What a wonderful thing to emulate. One more breath. Ooh, release. Reach the arms high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward and down to let go. Inhale, flat back, lift and lengthen, belly strong. Exhale, step or jump it, high plank, chaturanga. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, up dog, open the heart. Exhale, down dog, open the back. Right leg flows to the sky. Pull back through the heels, inhale. Exhale, step strong, right foot step. Stay on the ball of the left foot. Come on up for a crescent lunge. Finding your depth, finding your ground through the legs, finding the lift through the heart. Spread through the back heel, embrace this. Inhale. Exhale, left knee comes down to the ground and just sink into a deeper lunge, opening the front of the left hip, lifting the heart high. Breathe big, inhale. And exhale, we'll release and step it back, high plank. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breath in, breath out. Left leg flows to the sky. Inhale. Ooh. Exhale, step it up. High lunge. Sink in through the hips, lift high through the heart. Feel the beautiful postural spine. Maybe you touched it at the beginning of the practice. Breathe into your shape and love your shape. You've got this beautiful shape, whatever it is. One more breath. And sink on down, right knee down to the earth. Dip a little deeper through the hips. Lift a little higher through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, let's release. Step it back, high plank. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, open, up dog. Exhale, back body opens, down dog. 5 breaths. Feel your hip creases moving back and up. Head relaxed. Inner elbows roll forward as the shoulder blades draw back, down the back. One more big breath in. Exhale it out. Let's take some hops to the front. So bend your knees a lot. And like a jackrabbit, just lift those feet, floating off the ground. Handstand, little mini handstand. Find your way to your front of your mat. Inhale. And exhale, bow it in, hug it in. Take an extra moment here. Really connecting with self on these deep forward bends. Inhale, we rise to standing. And flying into eagle pose. So the right arm wraps underneath the left. And the right leg swings up and over the left. And you have a lovely squeeze play here. Squeezing your inner thighs, squeezing your inner arms. Elbows lifting and hands pressing from face. If you can't quite take this grip, you can always bring your Opposite hands to opposite elbows. Also great. Sink through the heels, lift high through the heart, take one more breath. And unwind, swing it out, inhale, other side, left elbow under, and left leg up and over. Take your time to get there to really find your sweet spot with the poses. It's okay if you wobble, normal. Our balance is different every day. So really play with it, see what's possible. Imagine yourself like an eagle kind of perched on a branch, has a little give to it. You're up high, surrounded by fresh open air and wind. Your gaze is strong and steady. Take another breath. And release, swing it open, inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward and down, let go. Inhale, reach long, flat back, inhale. Exhale, step or jump it, flow through vinyasa. Inhale, up dog, legs strong. Exhale, down dog, pull it high. Right leg flows to the sky, inhale. Let's step forward back to that crescent. Ball of the foot stays high in the back. Inhale. Open wide, exhale, warrior two. And just pause here for a moment and just connect with the earth through your legs, the right knee opening toward the pinky toe, the back leg firm and strong, arms swing wide open. And just pause and feel your connection to your body here. What are you emulating? What does this feel like to be in this kind of position? Reverse your warrior. Big breath in. And we'll flow it out. Pausing with the hands to the front and the back leg lifted off the mat. Dropping that left knee down. Turning your right toes out to 2 o'clock and checking for gum under the sole of the foot. Sink in through the hips and just sway a little side to side. You can be high up on your hands or you can come down to your forearms. One more breath. Let's go ahead and fly into our standing split. Left leg rises up to the sky, head bows heavy. Notice what's possible here. Inhale. And exhale, we step the left foot forward to meet the right. Flat back, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hug in. Sink into an Utkatasana. Feet can be together, inner thigh squeezing, hips drop, toes light. Big breath in. Sink a little deeper, plunging down through the lower body, rising through the upper. And then come to standing, lightening up, inhale. Exhale, bow, fold. Reach out, lift and lengthen. Step or jump it, flow through vinyasa, meet me in down dog, your way, any way you want to get there. Working with the breath and all this awareness that we've been building. Left leg flowing up to the sky, inhale. Step forward, high lunge. Rise on up. Big breath in. Swing wide, warrior two, just pausing here in this new shape, in this new orientation. Really enjoying the spreading of your legs, the strength of the legs in a different orientation. Reverse your warrior, inhale it. Oh my goodness. And go ahead and hands come to the front of the mat. Right knee comes down, sinking in. Left toes turn, open to the left a little bit and just explore here. Coming on the knife edge of that left foot, and if movement feels good, go for it. If not, no big deal. Just listen to what feels right in your body. Turning your left toes back to center. Let's fly it, standing split. Right leg flows high to the sky, unweight out of the left hip, inhale. Exhale, right foot steps forward to meet left. Reach out, flat back, sink on in, hug on in. Feel the weight, balance between front and back. Toe heel your feet together if it's good for you. Sink down and rise up, Utkatasana. thunderbolt pose. Just for a couple breaths, feel the strength of your legs, the connection to your core, and then plunge on up, press down to rise, and draw the hands to the heart and pause. Let's do another balance pose. So the right arm flows on up for dancers. The left knee bends, right hand takes the left hand takes the left foot. Knees draw in together, heart is high. You could stay right here. Tailbone tucking, lots going on here in this shape. If you want to come deeper, you use the back leg to catapult you into movement. Left thigh opening, chest opening, real grace wide open. Inhale. Exhale, let's step straight back to warrior two. And then straighten your right leg this time, reversing your warrior. Hinging into Trikonasana triangle pose. Right hand comes down somewhere along the leg or down to a block. Down to your big toe. Some people love to take that. Lengthening out long through your spine. Left arm flowing high, heart opening up, up, up to the sky. Right knee might be micro bent, that's okay. Turning, flowing, enjoying. Big breath in. And we'll go ahead and walk the hands down to the side of your mat, turning your toes in, your heels out. Reach out to a flat back, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, fold, bow, let the head come down. Feet as wide or narrow as you wish. Legs strong if possible. You can bend your knees if you need, but see what's possible to open up through the outer seams of the legs, through the back body. Take your time with this. One more breath. Let it be a savoring breath. And then come around to a flat back, engage. Turn your attention to the front of your mat. Left foot steps in, and we find that pyramid pose. Left hand stays down. Right hand comes to the right hip crease, pulling back through the outer right hip. Stay firm through the left leg as you turn your heart up to the right and up to the sky. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Twist through from the base of the spine, through the ribs, through the heart, through the fingertips, through the eyes. Tie it all together here. Inhale. And exhale. Let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Reach on out, flat back, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow in, fold in, hug in. Take an extra moment or two here. Even shaking out your head or giving some traction to the hair, whatever feels good. Gently, gently rising on up to standing. Arms swing wide and high. Inhale. Left arm stays high. Right hand reaches to the right foot, the inner seam of the right foot, and pause there. Knees together, chest lifts. Where do you want to go from here? Maybe you want to stay right here. Lots is happening now. Maybe you want to come higher, lifting the back thigh, lifting the chest, leaning just a little bit forward. The energy is up and forward. It's a forward moving pose, dancer's pose. Inhale. Exhale, swing straight into warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior and straighten the left leg. And then hinge your way, Trikonasana triangle pose. Tailbone directs toward back heel. Crown of head reaches front and forward. And find your pose, land your pose, the one that delights you and really that's possible in this moment. It may look nothing like anything that you think of it with a triangle pose, or it might be like, you know, what you see on the front of a magazine cover. Inhabit the pose and turn your attention inward to your own experience. 2 more breaths. Would you change anything? Last breath. And let's walk the hands around to the side of the mat, turn the toes in, the heels out, reach on out, flat back, and exhale, bow in, fold. If you have headstand in your practice and feel like your balance is good, take it. You could also place a block under your head that might feel just right. Or you might be floating in space with that head. All things are possible now. Big breath in and smooth breath out. 2 more breaths. Energize through the outer seams of the legs. And that invites a little lift up for the pelvic floor and the inseam of the legs, the core. Flat back inhale. Walk hands around to the front, step the right foot in just a bit. Right hand stays down, left hand comes to left hip crease, pull the hip back and let that invite a turn in through the spine. Left arm flowing up to the sky. Grounding through the feet, the legs, exploring through the chest and torso. Last breath, put the cherry on top, however that is for you. And let's go ahead and step your right foot forward to meet your left. Reach on out, flat back, and bow in, hold in, hug in. Shake out that head, nod it yes and no. Toe heel your feet a little wider and dip into a squat so the hips drop down toward the heels and the chest is rising on up. Wonderful stretch for the low back. Enjoy the moments. And we'll gently sink down, right down, sit down. You might rock and roll a couple times up and down the length of your spine. Plant the hands and press on back, downward facing dog. Right leg flows to the sky and bend the right knee and roll your hip open. Let's step the right foot to meet the left wrist and dip into pigeon pose. Hips sink, heart lifts. Center of left knee is to the mat. Take a moment to be a proud pigeon. And you can stay up or you can sink in, bowing, surrendering, letting go even more. Any supports under the body are invited and encouraged. Pull your awareness into your body. It might be one particular spot that you're noticing, or you might be kind of drifting and wafting through your body, just taking stock, celebrating, being curious about, and of course, honoring. Inhale, let's rise. Right knee stays bent and left leg swings up and around. So preparing for a twist. Right arm hugs around that bent left knee and left arm flows up to the sky. And just get your longest yet. Imagine yourself just growing, growing, growing. And that begins to actually turn you a little bit to the left. Left arm rainbows round behind and keep on spinning, my friend. Spin through your center. Work with the breath. Pause when invited to, from what comes inside. Put the cherry on top with a gaze. Could be past the left shoulder, could be past the right shoulder. You might try both on. Inhale, unwind, and plant those hands down to the right and just bow in, come down to your forearms if it feels okay. Shake out your head. Come on back up, and for a moment, we'll just rock this baby that is our left shin and hip. So if you can, cradle the lower leg with your arms, that's lovely. If not, you just take your hands around the shin and just guide it into this rocking, or it could be seen as like a cello strum. Both ways I like to feel it that way, one way or the other. One more breath. And then both feet plant to the ground and just windshield wiper your legs side to side and just notice how your hips are feeling right now. Let's fly back into downward facing dog, hands to the front, feet to the back, hips rising, head released. Left leg flows up to the sky, bend that knee and roll open. Enjoy that expansion. What is expanding in your life? Left foot stepping to right wrist, hips sinking, heart lifting. Right kneecap centered if possible. Touch a proud pigeon moment. And then fold and bow in. Surrender. Touch of surrendering moments. Where would you like to surrender in your life? How could that be helpful? Surrender seems to be where grace can often arrive, right? So keep that left knee bent and swing the right leg up and over, across. Left arm hugs around bent right knee. Right arm invites the spine up, and the pelvis, of course, invites the spine down. Breathe into that space and then rainbow right arm around the back and spin in. Be in twist. Enjoy. Working through it. Oops. One more breath. And let's unfurl and hands come over to the left and bow in, forearms to the ground. Give your head a little nod, no. And then come on up and hands, arms around that, that lower leg for a little rocking of the baby here. If that feels good for you, you can also take the hands to the shin and just invite in some movement through the hips and the whole torso, right? The whole body can take this ride. And then plant both feet to the ground and then just a little gentle windshield wiper. And let's turn it into something bigger by lifting the hips, flinging with the arm, whoosh, whoosh, spreading your magic around the space. Oh, yes. One more. Woo. And then lying down on your back and just taking a moment to spread out long on your back, lengthening those legs, tuning into the moment. How do you feel just right now? Like just kind of an intermission shavasana, just a moment. What still needs some support, some energy, what needs some letting go. Notice what shows up for you. See if you can really bond with the earth here. Just 2 more breaths. Feet coming to the ground. We're going to set up for a bridge or a wheel. If you know wheel, I invite you to take it. We're going to do 2 back bends. So if first time that you don't take it, maybe the second time you do. If you need something even more gentle and supportive, take a block. And as you lift your hips, place the block under the pelvis. Now, it could be any height on the mat. It could on the block. It could be low, medium, or high. So you tune into what feels like, oh, this is the sweet spot for my body. And particularly, this is an opening for the front of the body. It's, imagine a really well-balanced bridge from your kneecaps to your
the fronts of your shoulders. And if you tuck your chin a little bit, you'll get some traction along the back of the neck. If you're taking wheel, it's a different experience. So the chin tucks, but then lift the chin a little bit and then retuck it and drop the shoulders, walk them down. Maybe hands can even reach for ankles. Just kind of test, see what's here. Last breath and release. Come on down, lengthen your body out again, long on the mat. Notice what's shifted, notice what's here, notice a new awareness. Maybe a deeper softening. And then second time, bridge or wheel, your choice. Again, come in to whatever feels like just right in this moment. It could be more of a push. It could be just hands down around your shoulders and like a thought of wheel. So your choice, explore, experiment, enjoy. You are capable of more than you know. Last breath, wherever you are. And release down again, just a little mini Shavasana meeting point. Shake it out, ease it out. Roll your head around a little bit. And when you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. And inviting in an inversion. So you might choose a shoulder stand. If we haven't worked together and you don't know what a shoulder stand is, I invite you just to check out a different inversion. You might know a headstand or a handstand. You might know the shoulder stand. You can also just lift your legs up to the sky with a block under your hips. So you choose a place where you can invert, where your feet are above your heart for, we'll take this for, maybe up to a minute. Inversions are really, really rejuvenating. Especially as the weather warms, sometimes I notice my feet and ankles get a little more puffy as we make that transition into warmer weather. So this is just like the best thing for that. And Iyengar always said, do an inversion a day to take a minute off your life, to add a minute to your life every time you do one. So adding some longevity here, may it be so. Tune in, feel what's going on for you. If it feels nice, you can draw your feet back behind your head for a plow. Big, big, big opening for the entire back line of the body from the scalp all the way down to the toe tips. So it is powerful. If you like, you can bend your knees by your forehead or around your ears. And just find your way back down to that little mini Shavasana moment. We'll meet quickly with the knees hugged in because it'll feel nice, I'm pretty sure, after what we just did. So right knee stays hugged in, left leg extends along the mat, and the right heel comes up to the sky. So the left heel is reaching long and the right heel is reaching high. And the hands are around that right leg, or the right arm could be reaching out so that you kind of have this tug of war from the fingertips reaching back and the heel reaching forward at the toes. Heel high, hip low. Right knee, or right leg opens out to the right. Knee could be bent or straight. And when you're ready, we'll take a little twist. Right leg swings across over to the left. Right arm opens out to the right. Feeling into all the little points that are interesting to you in this experience, and really follow through with that. One more breath. Come on back through center. Just take a little side to side rock, and then left knee hugs in, right leg extends out, left heel rises high. If you want, left arm reaches out in the other direction from the right leg. Really, really restorative poses. As you're ready, the left leg opens out, either bent or straight to the left. Right arm extends out to the right. How open can you be in all directions? And again, in your own timing, you may be pausing in one place or another that I'm not. Take your twist. Make these practices yours, even though I'm offering lots of instruction. Really, the best teacher is you. Whatever you need to do to find your way to final relaxation, to Shavasana, on your mat, just becoming space. And you still have a body, so make sure it is supported well. You place something under your knees or over your eyes, a little blanket over your body. Just let yourself become less of your body and more of all of everything. It sounds like a tall order, but you've probably touched it before somehow, somewhere along the way. Shavasana. Begin to find soft, gentle movement. Wiggling, moving, just whatever feels right now. Fingers, toes, head. Ooh, gently coming alive. Stretching or touching or whatever feels right. Finding your way in your own timing, in your own way, to rolling onto your side. There's no rush. Pausing on your side. And when you're there, give yourself a big hug, big loving squeeze. Taking the time to drop the forehead down to the ground. If there's anything to let go of, to release, let it go. From there, we rise to seated. There's no rush. Find your seat. It's waiting for you. You take it with you wherever you go.
And that is therefore an invitation to just take up space, like take up as much space as you feel like you want to right now. If you feel expansive, let your being expand. If you're feeling more contracted, just let yourself be in a slightly more protected space. Let your body teach you and show you the way. And your breath fills and empties that whole container. Hands draw to the heart, slowly with care, as you would treat your own happy baby self. Bowing down, surrendering to your heart, trusting its guidance along the way. And a little silent Om here, or a little, it could make a sound if you want, vibrating the Om. Hands come to third eye center to lift you up, to bring you light, more love, more connection. I bow to you. Thank you for showing up on your mats today. Namaste.